All right, we are back. Did you miss me? I have been on a family vacation, which was very exciting. But now we're going to get back into it. Hopefully. I think I might have accidentally shot my gun. Loading. Oh, yeah, I'm shooting my gun. That's no good. Alright. How am I doing for health? Good. Energy, good. Okay, so my goal here, I think, is to get into that reactor in there. Get at that keypad. There's a few spots I haven't checked on the map right here. I'm gonna go there first, I think. So looks like we got out this door. These are interface demodulars. Now I already did the interface demodulator, right? And the plastique. Wait. Alright, we've got sensor mount on, good. Should we put our shield on? I'm not sure. Here is the door that we haven't been through. Let's look. Oh, hi! Stupid Boomba. Probably should have shot that one first, huh? Oh well. Let's just run right back to that medbed. No reason to stick around. Hello, viewers. Good to see you again. It's been a while. So one of the comments I saw on YouTube a while ago was, you know, I talk a lot about what we couldn't do in 1994, and I don't talk a lot about what we could do or what we did do. Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of what we did out of necessity, right? Like we did out of, you know, that's what the technology, that's all we could do. And yeah, so, I mean, obviously one of the things about the System Shock world is that it's made out of tiles, right? If you look around, the floor is all tiled. Everything's made of tiles. Who's this? Christopher Fleming. There you go. And what you got to understand is that out of necessity, we made the System Shock renderer so that nothing would ever overlap, right? The whole world's made, you know, even in modern games, the whole world's made of polygons. Like this pipe here, this hose here, is probably made out of a bunch of polygons. And I can't tell if, yeah, those little shading highlights that give it its texture, that's probably just in the texture map. It might be in a there might be some ambient occlusion or some like normal mapping going on in there. Not exactly sure how they did that, but everything is polygons, right? The whole world. And you know, obviously there's much more detail now like many more polygons now than there were back in 1994. But it was still polygons. And back in the day, what's the right weapon to use on a spark beam? Pretty close to a. Back in the day, or or actually in the modern day, your polygons would be, you'd store the 3D coordinates of the vertices of your polygons, right? And you might store some other stuff. You might store some information like the normals of the vertices, the normal vectors. That lets you, sort of give a hint to the shader and other things that you're simulating a curved surface. And you might store, obviously, the texture coordinates, which is like what part of the texture maps to what part of the polygon. And all of these are like floating point values. This is all rendering 101, right? All of these are like floating point values that get stored in the, in the level or whatever, right? So these days you would load a level. It would have a bunch of meshes. It would have a bunch of vertices and coordinates and vector components that are just stored as quite typically floating point numbers. And you just have like giant lists of vertices and stuff for all your polygons. We didn't have any of that. First of all, two things about that in 1994. We didn't have the memory to store every vertex of every polygon. And as an aside, we also didn't have floating point because we couldn't rely on you having a floating point unit. So it's all in fixed point. Basically, yeah, we're using integers and we're just moving the decimal point. All right, let's listen to this log.
Mark, people are getting sicker and ships are beginning to suffer. I can't triple duty forever to cover Rains or Jackson, but no one has recovered from this virus yet. You know what? Let's meet after my daily 3-hour collapse.
Yeah, so we didn't have memory to store all the vertices. And then the other thing we had to see, so out of necessity, we didn't store vertices. And the other thing out of necessity is we had to represent the world in a way which guaranteed that nothing intersected, no two pieces of geometry ever overlapped. These days, you have depth buffers, which make it easy for you to render overlapping stuff. In fact, you just willfully, it could be that, this spark beam here, you got my hand holding the spark beam. It could be that the hand is just overlapping the spark beam, and the depth buffer all just takes care of that for you. We didn't have any of that. Then we do this puzzle, and I'll talk about it some more. Let's see. We got a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 2. We're trying to get to... I'm not sure which is the top, which is the start, and which is the end. Alright, let's plug this in here. Oop. Haha. Someone was saying hard mode is when you have the grenade launcher selected when you do a puzzle. Here, I'll just unequip. Okay, so it looks like this is the start, and so this is the bottom, and that's a 1. If we flip the switch, then we'll get 2 more. So that's 3. We could make it 6 if we went to if we use this 2 instead of the 1. Where was the 2? Is this a 2? Yeah. Use the 2 instead of 1. Could make it 6. Okay, and then we would need a bunch more. Well, let's look around here. We got this. And then we've got this. Flip this switch. That adds and doubles. Maybe we'd prefer to double that. I don't know. Whereas this is triple. I think we want triple. Okay. That's pretty good. Let's see what this does for us. Oh, that's quadruple. Oh, but we only need one more. If we flip it like this, it's triple, I guess, right? Okay. So we could put this guy there. See what we get. Alright, and then we can plug this guy in here. I think that actually just does it. There you go. What did that do? Guess I should have been looking in there. Did it say? Junction box. Is there like a log? Status? So I can pop up like a log of what the text said? I don't remember. So yeah, we had a tile map. And so the tile map determined all of the vertices, and for that matter, all the textures of our level geometry. So yeah, so the world was like a 256, I think, by 256, something like that, grid. And then so each tile we had a bunch of information. One piece of information was the floor height, right? So, and the ceiling height. There was probably 8 bits of floor height and 8 bits of ceiling height. Obviously, you could overlap if your ceiling height was lower than your floor height. We just didn't allow you to do that. And so, you know, if you wanted a really, really big room, you'd have to, a really, really tall room, you'd have to make the floor height really low and the ceiling height really high. Now, in Ultimate Underworld, we didn't have ceiling height. We only had floor height. The ceiling was fixed height the entire level. And so if you wanted a short room, you had to make it high up in the level because the ceiling was, you know, a fixed height. If you wanted a tall room, you had to make it low in level. And that kind of limited your options for the kinds of levels you could build. So yeah, we had floor height and ceiling height per tile, probably a byte of each. And then we had a few bits of tile type for each. So the simplest tile type was, you know, just flat ground, like these would be flat ground tiles here. I don't know about up there, but these would be flat ground tiles. And we might have had a different ceiling type from the floor type, I don't know. We had a variety of ramps, so we had each cardinal direction of ramp, so north-facing ramp, south-facing ramp, east-facing ramp, west-facing ramp. Those were all different tile types. And then we actually had some corner ramps, so like a ramp that was like sort of two ramps, a ramp to both the north and the west, so that, you know, it would join up with a north ramp and a west ramp. And we had, I think, both the convex and concave versions of those in the tile types. All right, so I've been there before. Oh, is that the death trap? Let's look at the map. That looks like one of the death traps. So maybe if you do this, you have an easier time with the death trap. So I didn't really need to go here, I guess. All right, let's look at where we're going to go next. Some weirdness around here. For each tile, we also had basically your slope. If your tile was a slope, there was a few bits of slope height. You could kind of determine the slope angle.
And really the way you specified that was like the height above the lowest, so the floor height was the lowest part of the slope, and then there was another delta you could add on to that to get the upper part of the slope, right? Because you want the, if you have like a flat floor and then a slope and then another flat floor, you want to be able to like match up the top of the slope with the adjacent floor. So rather than specify angles, right, you would specify the height at the top and the height at the bottom. I don't know where I'm going. Let's look around. There's this over here, which I haven't really seen. And then there's this. I'm trying to get into there. Maybe I need to get into here. Also there. Alright, let's turn around and go through this door. And back around this way and see if we can engage with the reactor core a little bit more. What else did we have in the tile map? We had, so I think we had like probably texture entries, right? So each level had a palette of 256 textures. And I think the way we did it was we had like, what is the texture on your north-facing wall and what is the texture on your east-facing wall, for example. And then, you know, you just share textures with your adjacent tile, right? Because generally that was only going to be in one direction. Oh, and another really, really important tile type, of course, is the solid terrain tile type. Right? We had a special tile type for, you know, this tile is completely impenetrable. And that's really important because you don't want, because you want to do occlusion culling, right? Like you want to be able to tell. Oh, let me turn on my. Alright, I should probably play the game for a bit rather than talk about world representation in the shock renderer. Get back to you guys shortly on that.
Insurance, Mark. I need to reschedule. The reactor is spitting out radiation spikes, some as high as 8 rems. So, no date tonight. Can you run a diagnostic of the CPU notes for me? I'll bring the wine next time. Thanks.
Was that the mark that the other person was complaining to? Here. Alright, gotta get in there. Am I dying yet? That's a lot of LVPs. Alright, where am I going? I feel like I've mapped this all out. I should just look very carefully here. Because sometimes I miss stuff. And you know what? I don't remember this game. It's been 30 years. Missed lever at audio log. Thank you. Thank you. Zap Bannigan. Zap Bananigan. Sorry. Let me go ahead and patch up a little bit here. Oh, I'm out of juice. Oh no, I should get out of here. Alright, let's go get some juice. I missed a lever at that audio log. Let's hope I can find where I found that audio log. It was up high, and I think it was... Yeah, alright, we'll look around. It's funny how, like, radiation really gets into my head, and I really, like, miss stuff, and I'm, like, not as careful when I'm experiencing radiation. Oh, my I'm still poisoned. Oh, probably because I ran out of juice, huh? Jeez. I'm gonna die. Please save me, oh disco lights.
Radiation treatment complete.
Oh, hi T12, I didn't see you either. And yes, so yes, I was on vacation last week. I actually, my family went and we sailed on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And it was freaking awesome. Alright. Much better. Alright, now where are we going? Turn on the thinger. Right, so I feel like the log was over here. When you're saying it, is this where the log was? No, not maybe not. Okay, I'll keep looking. I know to look for levers, so that's something. So over here. I feel like this is where the audio left. Oh, look at this. Okay, I think, did that open? Looks like it might be exposed now. This lever. Oh, there's the code. There's the keypad. Alright, so let me go. Hold on, I may need to alt tab away and open this image I have labeled reactor code. Alright. I believe it is. Nope, not 5. Here. I'm like hovering on a thing. I don't want to be hovering on the thing. Alright. That's funny. The pad is screwing me up. Can I turn it off? Alright, so 8, 7, 6, 409.
Destruct security clearance accepted.
Okay. Maybe you do want to have this go down. Alright, is this
Reactor destruct countdown started.
Alright.
What have you done, impudent, impudent? If I am to die, then I will avenge myself on you. My cybernetic children will feed on your flesh, and none will ever know your deeds, or even your name. Enjoy your victory, human, for the remainder of your
Yeah, so this is bad news for me, I guess. Do I need anything? I don't think I really do. Thank you again, Zap Bananigan, for pointing out that lever that I missed. Do I have time to do any recycling? I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't see a countdown. So is this like one of those hurry up but not really kind of situations?
call my next step. Oh, hi! You coming? That was the wrong ammo to be using. Grenade launcher? That should be fun. Are you gonna open the door, or am I? Oh, jeez. That was scary. Maintenance. I'm supposed to go to the flight deck, right? Yeah, well, you know, this game does you no favors. You know, it's funny. I think that it's a little bit. I think the original, because we had so much less detail. I think the original was a little bit more forgiving in that regard. Oh look, I fell off. Probably convenient. Time to load. Where are you? Where's that guy? Hi. Yeah, like I think the original might have been a little bit more forgiving there because you don't, you know, there's just so much less detail that you can pick out the levers. Got myself some juice. Turn on my shield. Alright. I head up to the flight deck and get out of here, right? Right? Oh, hi. Are those like shield spells? Oh, that's actually a pretty cool effect. I hadn't noticed that before. Maybe I should have gone to someplace with a med bed. Alright, where are the... Gotta wait. Where are these guys?
And meet the new horizon.
Oh, geez. Oh, there's the fight. There's the escape pods. Am I gonna have to fight Diego here? I don't remember.
That EMP hit. Jeez, that was scary. Lord help me. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna serve showdown now. Alright, give me a sec. I think I forgot to push save. Presumably. Yeah, alright.
Come, and meet the new horizons.
Alright, let's actually prepare for this fight now. A grenade launcher. Let's EMP him. And then do we want to try and laser rapier him? Quick save. You know what, let's use this extra health pack. And let's quick save again. So it's pretty clear that that is Diego. That's that. I like them apples. Alright, that didn't work so well. Gotta run. Alright, I need to teleport out. Great. Nice, deja vu. Nice achievement. Alright, well that wasn't so terrible. If I were actually competent, I probably could have done that on the first try. Alright. I seem to recall 001, right? Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Escape pod.
Life pod launch initiated.
Destroyed my beautiful station.
And now you attempt to flee?
No, you will not escape your actions. I will leave you here to die, enemy, along with the rotting corpses
Of your pathetic species.
Well, saw that coming. I don't think we had any of this ship in the game, right? I don't think we had any of the life pod in the game. I think we just, I think this was just a door. Right, what other fun surprises?
started the bridge separation sequence. It'll be some time before that happens, but when it does, you'll need to be on there. You're the team of engineers who worked on Showdown. They'll feed you information while you're making progress.
I see you are still receiving transmissions from Earth. We'll have no more of that.
Alright, so where am I going? Maintenance. Get some juice. Then we'll head up to engineering, I guess. Try to get to security and bridge. Juice. Should I keep my shield up? I don't know if I should keep my shield up. Probably, but I'm gonna. I might have some walking. Oh, no, not this one. So earlier I was talking about the original game's tile map and how we used it to express all of the world geometry. And so yeah, we would just infer all of the vertices from maintenance, research, reactor. No, this is the right one. We would infer all the vertices from that. And the tile map more or less, you know, unless you did something really perverse with it, more or less guaranteed, because everything was in its own tile, that nothing would overlap. And so if you think about it, right, so we talked about, like, you know, you might have a byte for floor height, a byte for ceiling height, you know, a few bits for tile type, maybe a whole byte for both tile types, maybe another whole byte for both slope things, you know, but we're probably talking 8 bytes per tile, maybe 16 bytes per tile, times 256 times 256, so that's 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 8th times 2 to the 8th is 2 to the 20th. So, like, we could store a whole level in 1 meg, right, if it's 256 by 256, right? And so that was a pretty big win in terms of being able to get a lot of geometry into relatively little space. And I could be overestimating at 16 bytes. I don't remember. And I could be overestimating at 256 bytes. Maybe it's 128 by 128. I mean, if you knock 1 bit off of all of those, then you're, you know, now you're down to 2 to the 17th, which is like 128k. So we didn't have a lot of memory. You know, we probably had 4 megs. And even though we had finally a, sorry, I gotta turn the game audio down a little bit. It's Bossa Nova is a little too much right now. Oh, hi! That's going to be pretty effective, actually.
God damn it. I thought we had Showdown's chance to beat. Boy, keep working on it. The security information that we have shows that the elevator to the bridge isn't responding. We'll have to cut through the security level to get to the bridge. Expect heavy resistance from Showdown. Don't try to...
Insect, your friends cannot stop your fate.
Stop your fate. Stop your fate. Stop your fate. Stop your fate.
So we did have a, unlike Underworld. Underworld had a 16-bit memory model. So
you did have more than a meg of memory, but like you had to do shenanigans to get at the everything above a megabyte. You had to like swap stuff in and out. We did have a unified memory model finally. No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about video RAM. I mean, we didn't have any video RAM because we didn't have any graphics of it. But, just even having a memory model where like a pointer was a straight up integer was a pretty big deal. And even though we had that, it's like, wait a second.
You're still alive. I'm very impressed. Are you pleased to see the results of your hacking into Showdown? We have much to thank you for. We shall meet soon, I promise.
Long story short, we had more than 4 meg. We had about 4 megs to play with. I mean, which is not a lot, right? Like, we have 4 gigs or more, 32 gigs now to play with. But like because of weird PC things, the bottom 640K was faster. So you had to be pretty careful about what you kept in that area of memory. Is this? Yeah, I'm brand new to the security level. All right. Let's make sure all my guns are loaded. Okay. Let's go back to frag. I don't remember if it was Underworld or
Bridge
System Shock.
separation process initiated. All unnecessary personnel clear the level.
Oh, hi. Oh, jeez. Well, I guess I'll be serving Showdown well. Unless by some miracle. So did I have no health? I guess I had no health. I should have had some health. I think it was Underworld. We were working on Underworld 2.
You decided to make this choice
And,
join me. I promise your body will be.
Doug Church once sent to me, look, Mark, if you save 2 bytes 1,000 times, you've saved 2K. And that was, a profound statement, because 2K was, a lot back then. Still good advice. Oh, I do have health, but God, that thing just shredded me, I guess. Oh, maybe I should turn that shield back on, huh? What's this door over here? Is it under here? That is, as my kids say, sus. Alright.
Warning. Bridge separation process initiated. All unnecessary personnel clear the level.
Oh, did he throw a prox mine at me? Is that why I died? I think that's why I died. That guy's no joke right there. Should better patch up. Or we should just die. Lord help me, I'm not very bright. What time is it? It's...
In my time zone, it's a little bit past 11 p.m. Probably play for just a little bit longer before calling it a night. I do have to work tomorrow. Alright.
Insane.
Back here. Shield on.
Warning. Bridge separation process initiated. All unnecessary personnel clear the level.
Yikes.
Sector call. Oh, you know what? That's the other thing. I think that we had a global multiplier on the finished last week. Excellent the whole way. Awesome, awesome. I don't know if you a glazed welcome. I don't know if you've read my about page, but might be a little different from some of the other Let's Plays you may experience. Alright, so this is... So yeah, there was a global scale on sort of what the height granularity of the level was. So if you set the global scale high, then, you know, you didn't have a lot of granularity in... you could have very tall levels like this one, but your variation in floor height was not as big. Is this a ladder? No. I'm seeing ladders where there aren't any. Do I want to go in here? This is gonna go badly for me. I'm gonna save.
And bones stand no chance.
It's nice when it works. Oh, okay. So you're familiar. That's great. That's great. Well, welcome. This is gonna be up on YouTube as episode, I don't know, what am I up to, 16 or something? I am not a fast player of this game. Oh, one of the things I was thinking about the other day, you know, I don't honestly know details. I did not implement the transparency on the Oh, hi. I did not implement the transparency on the force bridges, and I'm wondering about how we did that. Oops. Because here's the thing. Our back buffer, right, our render target. Ooh, I'm getting low on this kind of ammo. I guess I should switch. Our screen was essentially 8-bit. We had 8 bits per pixel. And those 8 bits was palletized. Those 8 bits were an entry into a 256 color palette. So we only had 256 colors to work with. And so one of the things that means is if you actually want to do lighting, right, you have to have, every color has to have banks of color, right? Every hue and saturation that you want to support has to have like several values for shading purposes. And yeah, and so we had these transparent bridges, and I don't think it's possible that we were doing alpha mapping, alpha blending on those. So alpha blending is the kind of transparency where you just take sort of the average of the foreground color and the background color. It's a weighted average depending on how opaque the thing is. I don't think we could possibly be doing that. Strafed instead of leaning. I hear a prox mine though. Where's the prox mine? Getting shot at. Oh, hi. What's up there? Oh, getting shot at some more. So it's like an entry lookup of the redder. So yeah, probably of those VFIG, I think you're on the right track. It's like we probably had a bank of reds, right? Of different values, right? And we probably like took the value of the pixel behind it, mapped it, found the red that was the corresponding, value in the hue saturation value sense. Found the red that was corresponding to that, and then just rendered that. And so you would be able to see the sort of texture of it would like redify everything that you were, So we might only have like 16 reds or something, right? But it would redify everything that you were seeing it through, which is interesting because alpha blending is. The physical phenomena, like a common physical phenomenon that matches alpha blending is like if you imagine like you've got you're looking through a screen door at a background, and there's something painted on the screen door, right? Like and so how granular the holes in the screen door are determine the opacity of the screen door, right? But it's like alpha blending is the equivalent of like some of the photons make it to your eye from behind the screen door, passing through the screen door for the background, and some of the photons are photons that bounced off the screen door, right? And there's just like an average of those things. So like if you look through a blue thing at a red thing, you're going to see like a dark magenta thing, right? Which is, so screen doors aren't very common, right? Painted screen doors aren't very common. More common are things like fog or, smoke or something that's like a particulate where like, hey, some of the photons, again, are passing through the fog and some of the photons are bouncing off the fog. And like what proportion of each is the opacity. And so yeah, so like alpha blending's good for some things, but it's not good for things like a theatrical gel, which like literally like a thing that's basically a bandpass filter, right? That is only allowing the red light in, right? And we probably did something closer to that with our palletized approach. Again, out of necessity. Where is that? I bet it's up there. That's gonna drive me crazy. I wonder if this is a... Every time an assassin hits me, I want to blame Tim's dumb luck. Oh, I got killed. Lord help me, I'm not very brave. So I should, I say that every time I die. It's still true. Alright, how far did I get? When did I autosave? Oh, back here? Oh, no! Alright, well. Pillage. Then burn. Are you coming? Yes, you are. Oh, jeez. I didn't even kill you. That's exciting. Oh, this has a door, too. Should I open this door? Oh, I already did open this door. What are these? Those are all EMP grenades? Jeez, I wish I had noticed that before. Alright, let's push this button. And then what should we use against these jerks? Oops, I didn't want that. Where's the scorpion? What should we use against these jerks? Oh, maybe gas grenades work against those guys. What do you think? Do you think gas grenades work against those guys? How did SS1 do lightning? Yeah, flashing lights. And muzzle flash. No, we absolutely did. So yeah, so you have to, you know, like I said, every palette entry has to have, or every color in your palette has to have like multiple palette entries to represent the darkness. But yeah, we basically had a shading table, right, that mapped the, you know, so you have your color palette is one column of the shading table, and then a bunch of darknesses of that color palette, which were just you know, which index in the color palette was the slightly darker version of that. And so, yeah, so literally just every time we rendered a pixel, we would map it through the, through the shading table based on what was happening. But yeah, we did have a light per corner. I think we had a floor light and a ceiling light per corner of in the tile map. So that's another couple bytes. So you could paint light in the tile map. And then we also had you know, a headlamp essentially, right? And the muzzle flash, I'm sure, was just like we elevated your headlamp a little bit. But yeah, just in real time, we are calculating you know, so we know essentially the light when we're rendering a quad, we know the light values of the four corners of that quad. Or if we're drawing a triangle, we know the light values of the vertices, and we're just interpolating the light value and then doing the table lookup to figure out what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know if that answered your question. I tried to. Oh, hi. What's this guy? The music is scary. Hitting it? I can't tell. There you go. I have no idea if I'm doing any damage to him whatsoever. Wow. Yeah, you know, I guess the vision, yeah, it still has the head-mounted vision. I hear that sight is actually awesome and lets you see through walls and stuff, so maybe I should just try it. People have been telling me how awesome this thing is. Oh, it is dead. Though, was that the assault rifle? Or was that... Hi. Oh yeah, I can see him through the... Oh yeah, yeah, I can kind of pulsing see him through the wall. That's kind of cool. Ran him out of this stuff. Jeez, something shooting at me. I don't like it. I'm in the wrong alcove. Wow, almost dead. Alright, inventory. Use our friendly thing. Use our other friendly thing. Push the autosave button. Yeah, okay, I can see how this is cool. It's a nice effect, too. Oh, did it run out? Scared now. I'm hearing robot walking. Something shoot me. Extraction.
Letting go with you will die for this. Kill me. It's a cool room. I love it. Gonna rifle through all the cabinets. Could be just a light switch. Don't know. This is a repulsor that I don't have access to.
No pain.
Oh, hi. Hey, I'm reloading. Hey. I should have called. I should have saved. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Lynn63. Oops. Alright, I should probably call it myself, because I do have this. Oh, am I all the way back here? Maybe I can win this fight first. Alright, do I think the gas grenades worked? Guess there's no harm in trying. Oh, there's this bastard over here, too. Are you still up here? No, I got you. Oh, I got all these guys. This guy up there. Where are you? Oh, you're up there. Haha, that was cool. It's very Star Wars when you kill him and he falls down. Alright, let's see if I can just redo this a little bit. And then... Oh, hi. I was trying to turn on my rapier, but apparently I had not successfully racked it on my... Alright, let's push this save button. Go through here. Do all the things. Can't complain. Not sure what this does, but... Yeah, the thief object system. Thank you for the props on the thief object system. Yeah, that the thief object system was my baby, and you know what? I've been working on object systems ever since, and I don't think my work is done on that subject, but who knows?
Closer.
That was unwise. Hi. Is there an assassin here? I'm almost dead. Do I dare try to heal? Okay, let's push the button. Oh, I got a card. Seems like a card I had before. Maybe not. When in doubt, push the auto save. Oh, look, an audio log.
Research into the Strength Enhancement Patch project has yielded mixed results. The enhancement patch does succeed in increasing the test subject's strength. Some subjects have reported hallucinations, but all have had a massive spike in adrenaline that causes the subject to become enraged. Alex will be fine.
Oh,
then burn. Oh. That was missed. Can't find room for an extra mag pulse. Look at all these medkits I got. How about that? Empty. That's all I wanted was your ammo. Maybe if you frog something multiple times, it should give you the ammo. If you can't pick it up. Any cabinets in here? Should be thankful for what I got, really. Alright. Push the button. Don't like it when I hear these stompy robot noises. Oh, I forgot you can hack those. That's not a robot. I wonder if EMP works. Let's try it. Anyways. Oh, it works. Good to know. Ooh, that was a railgun round. Surveillance. Let's oh, I keep forgetting that you can hack the cameras. I don't know that I want to spend energy on that, though. At this point in my gameplay. I feel like I have more ammo than energy right now. Audio log. Bridge.
Schuler unit has been captured. Per orders from Diego CY001. Schuler unit has been taken to containment cell on the bridge. Schuler unit will be neo-disassembled to correct errors. Mother will be pleased.
That wasn't at all creepy. Oh yeah, these floaty disky things. That's a cool effect. Certainly, meta properties for the win. I agree. I agree. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I don't know why meta properties aren't a thing in modern engines, but meta properties are like bags of properties that you can just add to things.
Just 1 second.
I got another railgun. Got railgun ammo. Gosh. What am I doing on grenades? Oh, I get a bunch of. I still have 4 EMPs. I should probably switch back to frag then. It's good to know this is here. What's that in there? Alright, well, good to know.
know if I want to... Maybe I'll drop a little map node here. Map marker here. Railgun there. I think I have one in my cargo lift. In any case. Alright, looked at surveillance. I guess that might have been overkill. Oh, it's just making new ones. I can sit here and shoot them all day. And it's gonna make new ones. Yikes. That's no good. Shotgun. It's not really in my rotation right now. I have one, I think, also in my cargo lift. Do I trust this horse bridge? Oh, so one of the things I wanted to mention, which is kind of funny, is people were talking about, you know, Mark, why are you vaporizing the food? Why aren't you eating the food before you vaporize it? Like, when I started playing this game, I honestly thought that the food was going to be poisonous. I honestly thought that, you know... I honestly thought that, like, you know, it was, you know, its healing was going to be marginal and its, like, side effects were going to be gross. But clearly I was wrong. But that would be the cyberpunk thing to do, right? Is to just have like all the food be like totally unhealthy. Get Snacktron.
You've encountered Snacktron. How fortunate for your hunger and or thirst.
Your hunger and or thirst.
Snacktron supplies all your all-natural synthetic flavor cravings. Snacktron recommends a
red drink
today. A hungry worker is less than tri-optimal.
A hungry worker is less than tri-optimal. That's pretty fun. Whoa.
Saturn is so beautiful from here. I wish I'd spent more time just looking at it. Caitlin, my daughter, if this ever finds you, good thing that you were right after all. They should have never accepted this assignment. Don't lose hope in your own research. I'm sure that one day we will be traveling to the stars.
Is that a retro shout out to Shock 2, perhaps? I think maybe it is. Look, I'm vaporizing. Aren't you proud of me? Now that it's totally irrelevant. Those books are big.
Is a book really half the size of a gun? I'm not so sure. Alright, gents. Well, this seems like a nice quiet corner in which to save the game and call it a night. So yeah, I'm back. I was on a break. The stream is not cursed. I am determined to finish. It'll be on my own schedule, though. I can't guarantee when I'm going to be back next. But it'll all go on YouTube. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Vaporizing produces a solid residue. Yeah, I didn't even thought about that, but yeah, it's true. It's true. Oops, I exited the desktop. All right, have fun.